abducting us! Stop abducting us! Stop abducting us! Stop abducting us! Stop abducting us!
Fellow Kenyans, 2024 will be remembered as a very difficult and painful season. The year, and in particular June 25th, will also be recognized as a year young Kenyans impeached Parliament and brought to life the articles of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. It will be recalled that in June, Kenyan youth, Gen Zs, and millennials set aside their laptops and armchairs to occupy our republic's cities, towns, and streets in unprecedented numbers. They armed themselves with phones, water bottles, and our republic's flag to oppose William Ruto's regime's arrogance and intransigence, typified by the unfavorable, invasive, and irredeemable Finance Bill 2024. How did this so-called Kenya Kwanza government respond to their cries? They clobbered our Gen Zs and millennials with open abandon. They unleashed torrents of tear gas canisters into unarmed crowds of peaceful protesters. Shockingly, they fired indiscriminately live bullets into the crowd of non-violent demonstrators, killing one too many of our law-abiding youth and injuring far too many. Kenyans who remember the first to fall was Rex Masai. Up to date, not one security agent has been charged with these heinous and illegal atrocities against humanity. And in the case of Rex Masai, you'll have noticed an attempt at an inquest. An inquest is not a criminal proceeding. It is just an inquest, a way of trying to make it easy for the culprits to escape. To compound this brazen criminality, the Ruto regime embarked with shocking familiarity the practice of abducting our youth just because they expressed their opinion, drew pictures, created artwork widely shared on social media that Mr. Ruto did not like. This terrible practice of abduction by hooded brutes is reminiscent of the dreaded Adolf Hitler's Nazi militias. Up to date, and given that none of these balaclava-wearing gangsters captured clearly on CCTV have been arrested, there can only be one conclusion. They received the instructions directly from State House Nairobi. Let us not pretend about this. What is clear, no matter the type of whitewashing, chest-thumping, and sugarcoating Mr. Ruto's misguided social media gang attempts to do by sponsoring all manner of hashtags, is that Mr. William Ruto is the chief commander of the abduction squad. We demand that all 82 youth who have been abducted in the last 3 months be released and returned to their families immediately. Some have actually been abducted as recently as yesterday. We also demand that all 29 missing youth whose whereabouts are unaccounted for be accounted for forthwith. If any of them will have been killed, the blame will be squarely on Kenya Kwanza regime. We also call on our international partners to note these serious crimes against humanity being perpetuated by Kenya Kwanza regime and to add their voice of condemnation. Fellow Kenyans, it is preposterous the thousands of Kenyans are today unrepresented in Parliament and at the county assemblies because of an individual's vested interest in the 2027 elections, which he wishes to manipulate through a user-friendly Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, IEBC. Mr. Ruto's proxy, Augustine Muli, has delayed the IEBC selection panel process, knowing full well that it does not meet the criteria on any and all levels, and the matter was pronounced by a competent judge of the High Court. This long, drawn-out and unnecessary process can, however, be curtailed as our republic is bigger than one man. We therefore say in a loud and clear voice, Mr. Ruto, do the honorable thing and instruct your proxy to withdraw his court cases at the Court of Appeal. Let me, however, take this opportunity to assure Kenyans that they are not alone. While we have lost 2 precious years under this KK dictatorship, 2025 will not follow a similar path. But do you recall that I said at this podium, the next election, whenever that will be, was going to be won in 2024. As Kenyans celebrate Christmas and welcome the new year, remember those reflections? The outcome of the next elections is already determined.
Our very, very senior Dr. Haminwa, I am here, there is Jiron Egwa, there are several lawyers. And then there is Omtata's brother, who is having medication. Where is the brother in that medication?
You should take it.
Mama hapa uonekane. Because you see, they needed to allow us to see him as his lawyers and to allow his brother here to give him medication. Even that has to wait from the OCPD. And I'm telling them we are not their prisoners. Detaining us here for that long, waiting for one person to come, is actually something that is very distasteful. And we are telling William Ruto, you have reduced this country to a banana republic. That you arrest people, I'm wondering for what offense Omtata is in here and the others at Central. Is it an offense to be a Kenyan? Because all they were doing is exercising their rights. Kenyans must harden their resolve. We must fight this together, and we must all understand that we have one common enemy, William Ruto and his regime. All the effort he has wasted today, battering people, mistreating them. We even do not know the state or condition of Omtata and the others detained at Central because they were manhandled. They were dragged on the road. So we do not know their state. They may be requiring medical attention, yet we are being denied the permission, or rather, to see them, access. And access is a constitutional right. Access to a lawyer, access to family, access even to friends, you know? Or is it detention without trial all over again? We must harden our resolve. We must fight this together and exercise our sovereignty to show William Ruto and his regime Kenya belongs to us all, not to him and his cartels. And also to thwart his graduation into a full dictator, because he's trying to emulate his neighbor here in Uganda. What I personally feel as a lawyer, Omtata is not under arrest. He has been abducted. Because if you are being kept incommunicado, then it's an abduction. Yes. It's not an arrest. So all the 15 or odd number or whatever other number, because we do not even know how many are in custody, those are now abductees, adding on to the very reason of the demonstration. William Ruto, you will have to release the abductees. Otherwise, we are going to act. Be sure that we will act.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. It's terribly annoying.
So I think
Would you
wapi kaunti hata
wewe ulisema kwamba tusiende maandamano, sisi tumelipwa. Kwa hivyo hizo pesa zimekufikia pia wewe. Na umekuja sasa kuchukua tu mileage.
What have you been so clean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not go today.
Yes.
Today.
Yes.
Just show me the evidence.
Live sasa tutakuwa record live.
Tumelipwa.
Now let me tell you guys something. For sure.
It's either you're with us or you're not with us.
Let me tell you something. We have one enemy and that enemy is William Ruto.
And the people
I have never had
you
a
should
live
know that.
live on TikTok or where?
Just TikTok, you know.
I've never had a live for the last 3 months.
Okay, but
Wait, let's sort one issue at a time. One issue at a time. You said, I say.
No.
Nilisema kwamba mmelipwa.
You don't.
I have never been live for 3 months.
Those things are
So
sorted.
when did this live happen?
We are here to sort out issues of Mkia
When did it
Mtata.
happen?
You go and sort out.
Sasa nani alikupa habari?
You will not create chaos here.
Ni mileage tunatafuta.
Nani alikupea habari?
You will not create chaos
Nani
here.
alikupea habari?
You will not create chaos here.
So
We are here.
from today we agree on one thing. We need to stay united as a movement. And side shows, lies, misconceptions, those things we will not accept.
Listen,
We
I
have
am
to
the
stand
senior most
together.
lawyer here.
We have to stand together
We are
as a
here
movement.
to follow up on the release and the status of Mkia Mtata. The rest of the matters will be handled by the individuals concerned at their most appropriate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But he needs to support.
Mimi, he needs to substantiate because it's a lie, and it's a lie to a presidential candidate. Ndugu, can you substantiate what you've just said? Are you able to prove it?
Yes, we will prove it to you.
Just prove it.
Umekuja hapa tutafuta mileage. Umekuja hapa kufanya nini?
Prove that I said so.
It's okay.
This is the kind of nonsense that is dividing our movement.
When you accuse someone,
Because people come, you have accused me of saying, they have said that I said so. Can they prove it?
Okay,
I've never been live for 3 months.
let's focus.
It's total bullshit.
Let's focus at
Let
least.
us focus on one thing alone. We have only one enemy. That enemy is
Hizo mtapanda na CBD huko msumbuane.
whether you fight Morara or do what, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, William Ruto akitushika ata differentiate ati wewe ni Hanifa na wewe ni Morara. Atatuua sisi wote. Even when we are here, we are marked.
Take it easy, brother.
They've come up with shit. They need to prove their shit.
We can only say with certainty, after having been here for 4 hours, that Mkia Mtata has been declared to have been abducted by state agents. And that I say so because they have refused us to access the OB. So as we speak, any arrested person, the procedure is that you must be booked in an OB. The absence of an OB, therefore, means that one has been abducted. And therefore, we consider this as a case of abduction from now henceforth. Reason being, they are not disclosing any information regarding the rights or regarding the status of an arrested person. The absence of those status is an abduction, and that's a conclusion we have made. I therefore declare that Senator Mtata, the senator for Busia, has been abducted by state agencies and by the police while he was executing a constitutional function of a lawful demonstration.